Hey there everyone, I am Arindam and today I am going to share how you can run your LLMs locally with the help of Docker. Docker recently launched their model runner which gives us a simpler way to run and test models locally. So we will see how we can use it in our workflow. For that, let's go to our terminal. So first, we need to make sure that our Docker desktop is updated because it is a beta feature, and to run this, we need to have the latest version, which is 4.40 of Docker desktop. So if you don't have that, you can install that. Now let's see how we can use Docker model runner. So for that, first we need to have our Docker desktop updated, because to run this feature, we need to have the version 4.40. So for that, we have to go to our Docker desktop. So let's go to our Docker desktop. I have opened my Docker desktop, and to check the version, you can go to the settings part, and in the software update section, you can check the version, and mine is up to date, which is 4.40. So if you haven't updated, please update that, because otherwise it will not work. Next, you have to go to the features in development section, and you have to enable this Docker model runner and this port as 12434. This is the default port. If you are not comfortable with Docker desktop, you can do the same thing with the CLI as well. So let's go to our terminal. So we are into our terminal. Now let's just enable the model runner via CLI. So for that, we have to run this command, and it will enable the model runner with this port, just like what we did in the Docker desktop. And to verify this, if it worked or not, we will run another command, that is docker model status. So as you can see here, our Docker model runner is running. In case if you see it generating another response, so it might be something that you are not configured well, and it should look something like this. We can also see all the commands that is there for the model runner using this command. So as you can see, we have the pull command, run command. So most of the time we will be using pull and the run command. So the pull command downloads a model, and the run command runs the model with the Docker model runner. And we can also list the available models that we have already installed with the Docker model runner. For the models, we have to go to Docker Hub, where you can see all the models listed. You can see they have currently 14 models, such as Deep Coder Preview, Quen models, Gemma 3, Small LLM 2, 5.4, Mistral, and a lot of top open source providers that you can. So for this tutorial, we'll be using this Small LLM 2 from Hugging Face. So you can see all the characteristics of it, the provider, the architecture, the language. It has tool calling enabled as well. So if you don't know what is tool calling and how to use it, I have already created a video around function calling, also around MCP. So if you haven't checked that out, feel free to give that a look. And you can see all the model variants here. So for this, we will be using the latest model, which is pretty small. You can see the size is only 270 MB, and you can see other details. To pull this, you can just copy this command and run your CLI. It will work. And for running it, you can just use this command. So you can also copy that from here as well. So let's just copy it. Now we will pull our first AI model. For that, as we have already copied the command, I will just paste it here and just run this and wait for a few seconds. And I have already installed it previously, so it installed pretty easily, and you can see that using the cached model, and yeah, the model AI is pulled successfully. So for you, it might take a bit more time, but it will be really faster, because you see this is a very small model. So we have successfully pulled our first model. Now let's just run this with the run command. So to run this, we will just write it docker model run, and then we will specify the model name, which is in this case small LM 2. And next we will just put the question here, tell me something about India. So and then we will just run this thing, and it will start generating the results. So as you can see here, it has started generating facts about India. So it has that streaming feature as well, which is pretty good. And yeah, it is generating a lot of things about India. Awesome. So you can see that it has generated a lot of text. Let me clear my terminal so we can see this easily. So as you can see, we can just use the Docker model run command and just pass the question that we want. Another approach is if we want to use the model runner in the interactive mode. So for that, all we have to do is we just have to remove this question and just run this, and we have entered the interactive chat. So now let's just say hey and see, it says how I can help you. Now let's just say tell me one thing about human. So you can see it has generated the answers and we are doing everything locally. So you can understand how easy it is to work with AI models completely locally using Docker model runner. So we have seen how to use it by directly passing the question or using the interactive chat mode. Now, if I want to get out of it, I just have to say /by and it will end the chat session. Awesome. Now, let's see how we can use it in our project. So I have already written a sample Python code and I will show you how you can use the local models using Docker model runner and OpenAI SDK. So let's go to our VS Code. There is a sample code as you can see here. And if you have worked with any other local providers like Olama, and you know this is a very simple way to interact with OpenAI SDK. Now, let's just understand the code here, which is not very complex, but let me again explain you. So what we are doing is we are just using the OpenAI SDK and we are mentioning the base URL as localhost 12434. And this is the port that we have set if you remember previously. And all we are doing is we are just specifying the models here. And also for reference, we also have to mention this API key as Docker. That doesn't help anywhere, but yeah, basically to remove one error of OpenAPI key error. To remove that, we are just mentioning this. Next, we are mentioning the model name, which is in this case AI small LLM2. I have also mentioned the quantization number. You can just skip this. It will still work because by default, if you have worked with Docker, you know by default it goes to the latest version. So now let's just test that out. So let's open our terminal. I have already created the virtual environment and I have already installed the OpenAI package. So in case to check again, I'm just installing again. So yeah, it's already installed. I will just run this code. And as you can see here, it is giving the answer based on the context that we have provided and the questions. Awesome, right? So that simple it is to use Docker and run your LLMs locally using Docker model runner. So you can use it on your JS project as well. Just all you have to do is use the OpenAI SDK and you just mention the base URL and the API key as something placeholder and you just mention the model and everything is as simple as that. And that was it. Hope you like this video and let me know what you are building with it. And thanks a lot for watching this video till the end. I will see you in the next video. Bye.